The hum of the airplane's engines did little to quiet Mark's thoughts. Staring out the small window, he watched the clouds drift by, but all he could see in his mind's eye was Linda. Over and over, the conversation he'd had with Nana replayed in his head like a movie he couldn't pause. He remembered how Nana's gentle voice had guided him toward the realization he'd been resisting for days, maybe even weeks. "Are you in love with her, son?" At the time, those words had stunned him, but now, miles above the ground and cut off from the world below, it felt undeniable. His heart fluttered every time he pictured Linda's shy smile, the warmth in her eyes whenever she looked at his baby girl. "Am I moving too fast?" he wondered, a flicker of doubt settling in his chest. For so long he'd believed he'd been in love with his first wife, only to discover he'd been clinging to the idea of a family instead of genuine affection. Now, faced with the all-too-real emotions he felt for Linda, he worried it might all be happening too soon. Yet, every time he considered taking a step back, he remembered Nana's gentle insistence that life was too short to ignore real feelings. "We all deserve a chance at happiness," he recalled her saying, and deep down, he believed that was true. For the first time in his life, he wanted something, someone so badly it made his chest ache. "I love her." The words formed in his mind as clearly as if he'd spoken them out loud. Mark shifted in his seat, feeling a stirring of resolve in his chest. "I'll give it everything I have to show her just how much she means to me, and I'll make her fall in love with me too, and forget all about his sick husband and all the pain she went through." He closed his eyes, imagining Linda's reaction when he finally confessed. Would she blush? Would she smile in that soft, sweet way he'd grown so fond of? Or would it scare her away, make her think it was too much, too soon? A knot of anxiety twisted in his stomach. What if I lose her before I even have the chance to be with her? The fear tasted bitter, reminding him of all he'd already lost in life. But he wasn't the same man he'd been a few months ago. He'd felt the change, and he had Nana's support. That had to count for something. When the plane touched down and he stepped onto the tarmac, his mind was made up. As soon as I get back to the house, I'm going to tell her how I feel. He would do whatever it took to make her see how serious he was. For once in his life, he had found a love that felt real, and he wasn't about to let it slip away.